Have you ever found yourself concluding that you yield a too low return on the investment you make in sustainability? Well, if so, you're not alone. A lot of business leaders have come to that conclusion. But the good thing is that there is a recipe you can follow if you want to have a higher return, if you want to make that competitive edge out of your work with sustainability. And I'll give that to you in a second. My name is Jasper Steinhaus. I'm the founder of Business with Impact. I'm a business consultant. And my specialty, well, that is to make sustainability profitable. And there are just 5 things that you need to make sure you cover really well. There are 5 principles, I would call them. And I have put them up here in this small diagram for you. So the first one is mindset. Second one is mission. Third one is pathway. The fourth one is implement. And the fifth one is communication. And just to give you a brief idea about what it is, well, the first one on mindset is so critical because it defines how you view and address the whole agenda. So the essential part here is to going from a minimization approach to creating something. It's also about integrating the idea and tools and efforts of modern entrepreneurship. There's also issues around cost and understanding of it, but I can unfold that for you in another video or another article. But that's the first one, really about how you view things and how you approach all of this. So that's really the critical first one. The second one is the mission. You gotta have a clear and compelling mission so that people, both internally in your organization and outside, clients, partners, talent, easily can spot and detect whether you are part of the solution or part of the problem. And if you're a part of the solution, well, then you have a lot more capability to attract. You'll become that magnet for talent, for people, for clients, for partners. So that's the power of having a strong and compelling guiding star in your mission. So that's the second one you need to cover. The third one is the pathway. Of course, you gotta be able to have a clear strategy and a roadmap ahead of how am I gonna get there. I use the circular economy as my toolbox, and in here it would be about mapping out what are the potentials in the different disciplines that are, where could you see that here are opportunities for you, and then correlate those with your top 3, top 5 problems that you're trying to solve, or the ones that your customers have. And where there is an overlap, well, that's the sweet spot, that's the interesting part, that's where you want to work. So it's really all about narrowing down, how am I gonna get there? How am I gonna progress towards that mission I have on? So that's the third one. The fourth one here is implementation. Of course, you gotta walk the talk, you gotta actually do the work. But since you're here in the third one, make sure that in this approach, you actually are working on massive and interesting problems for you, something that's already taking up your time and agenda. Well, then it's going to be so much more fun and interesting to go out and find these solutions. This is where you create the value, but it's also where you create the credibility to go out and talk about this. And that leads to number 5, communication. Really being able to and daring to actually go out and speak. I've met so many business leaders who ask me the question about, am I ready to communicate, or I don't dare, or what if I get accused of greenwashing? And those are relevant questions to ask. But if you follow this approach and go through all the 5 of them, well, then you have a clear mission where I'm going, and that's an appealing one. And you also have a clear pathway showing this is how I'm gonna progress. And you can show results about it. If you have that, then it's perfectly okay that you are not 100%. Nobody is. It's okay not to have reached your mission yet. Nobody really has. It's an ongoing journey. But when you have that, when you have a clear mission, when you have a clear pathway, and when you have results to demonstrate, and you are actually capable of pitching and communicating it, then you can get so much more attention from it, and you can start reaping the benefits of all your work. So these are the 5 principles, and if you like to figure out how well are you actually doing on it, I've created a small test for you can take. It's free, it takes a couple of minutes, and it will generate suggestions to next steps for you, depending on how you score in the test. You can find it on cetest.scoreapp.com, and you will also see that here below. So go in and take that and have an idea about how well you are scoring yourself and figure out what are the right next steps for you. Enjoy!